You're up, Commissioner.
Bannock County Commissioners are now in session. Must not be any indigent business. Okay. Looks like we need to go into the Board of Ambulance.
Mr. Chair, I move that we enter into the Board of Ambulance.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome.
Good morning.
We got the heavy hitters today.
I'm Autumn Baker with Pocatello Fire and Bannock County Ambulance District.
Nick Christensen, Pocatello Fire and Bannock County Ambulance.
Are you ready? So I'm here today on behalf of Chief O'Hearn, who's out of town this week. We are requesting the Commission's approval to apply for the Idaho EMS grant, and we'd like to apply for the purchase of an ambulance. In the past, Idaho EMS has awarded us several ambulances and equipment through their grant applications, and so we've submitted the form to your grant management team, and it came back with a score of 80, and Nancy Allen was the auditing person on the form, and she selected the box apply for award. So it's been through your guys' approval process. Ambulances are very expensive these days. The grants used to cover about 90%, and now they cover about 2/3 of the price of an ambulance. The estimate we have from the manufacturer is $307,000 and potential 2-year build out. So to get that ambulance. So it's we're hoping to apply for this and then hopefully have this by 26. It would require a match, and the cost difference, as the grant only covers about $208,000. Let's see, $333 is the maximum the grant will fund towards an ambulance. So that leaves us a remaining balance of $98,676, which would be the match and the difference for that. But that is 1/3 of the price of an ambulance if we're awarded that grant. So it seems smart to apply for it.
Okay. And budget years or year? What budget year are you looking for the match to come out of?
26.
Most likely it would be 26, but there's a potential for it to come a little sooner. So we're trying to plan for it in 25 just in case, and then we hope it would roll over to pay for it in 26 if not. So.
And Chief O'Hearn intends to ask for an ambulance in his capital request for fiscal year 25, should that come available. But it would be the full price in case the grant isn't awarded. But if the grant is awarded, then we would only take the match of that capital request. But he would request funding for a full ambulance in fiscal year 25, should the ambulance arrive in time, should they have a chassis and be able to actually produce it ahead of time.
And the award date on the grant is when?
We submit June 1st, and Idaho EMS has usually given us notice in August.
Okay.
So they're a little better than like FEMA and AFG, who sometimes take
Right.
almost a year. Idaho EMS tends to send notifications within 2 months of the application, so we know usually by the end of August if we've been awarded.
So we have a year to 18 months to potentially find the extra money if we need to.
Yes.
But you're going to budget for it all this year.
Yes.
And then where is this ambulance going to go? And the one that you are replacing one, and where is that one going to go?
So Chief O'Hearn looked at the best strategy for applying for this grant, and expansions tend to be funded most often. And with the addition of the McCammon station, he thought that we should apply for this ambulance as an expansion of service. If for some reason it wasn't awarded, we're asking for that full ambulance purchase in our fiscal year 25 anyways. It could be a replacement for our oldest ambulance in the fleet, and that's why I've brought Chief Christensen here, because he knows what ambulances that would replace.
Okay.
So most likely that would replace the current Ecom ambulance. It's a 2000 chassis.
Okay.
And really likely in the worst shape. Incan really likes it. They say, don't replace our ambulance, but really it's the next one to go, so.
And so, what's the intention on McCammon? I guess is part of
The intention
question.
right now is hopefully we'd be ready with this, and we would put the new ambulance out there. There are options as we move forward, depending on how we move forward with the volunteers, and then what we do with those ambulances. Best case scenario, we would add one to our fleet, and that would go to McCammon.
And that's what I want us to be thinking in that direction of what we're gonna do with McCammon and putting an ambulance down there.
And I've had several conversations with Chief O'Hearn, and we're anticipating McCammon being done by fall, next spring-ish. And so we'll start looking at staffing that and running some different models next spring/summer. And this would be a part of that. But we're looking at next summer to really starting to put stuff down there and run
And
stuff
in
out
our
of there.
fiscal year 25 ask, when we get to the budget planning part, he has requested staffing for at least half of the year, depending on when the station is available for people to be there. So we thought it would be prudent to get an application in for an ambulance to expand if that all comes together quickly. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do also in the interim, if this is a 2-year build, we do have a couple of reserve ambulances that we can make things work.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And again, those reserve ambulances, based on what Chief O'Hearn and I have been talking about, would work very well for that test period down in McCammon next
Yes.
summer. So
So our request is just to be able to complete this application. There is a letter of endorsement that's required from the commissioners. I think Commissioner Moser has signed it in the past for us. We haven't filled out the application yet. We were waiting for your approval, but once that is done, I will send it to your grants team and they can come back for signature, and then they usually submit to Idaho EMS. So we have till June 1st to submit. So that's our goal is to get this completed by Friday and back to your grants team. So.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve submission for the grant as discussed.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And Mr. Chair, I'd move that we exit the Board of Ambulance.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Looks like Todd, you're up.
So Todd Mauger with Bannock County Juvenile Justice in the Village. I'm here today to request a signature on an agreement for the order form for our Bonterra Social Solutions Apricot data system. This is the second year we've had it, and there's funds in the grant for our second year to pay for that. So I'm just requesting the signature and approval.
Questions? Motion?
Just real quick, what happens if we don't get grant funding for this?
What's that?
What would happen if we don't get grant funding for this in a future year?
So,
What's your backup?
so this is for second year funding. It's at the end of the second year because we purchased the grant or got the building going kind of a year later. I waited until last second to purchase the first year, which we used for the second year. This will get us through most of the third year. I'm currently in writing a grant for the third year funding for it. We are carrying over approximately $90,000 this year that can be used to purchase this in future years.
Okay.
So there will be some funding. We are looking at some other options too for sustainability of that may include and possibly the lease of some offices to Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections, or possibly the fees that we're collecting for those diversions from court.
Yeah, okay.
We're looking at that as
I just know
well.
your budget's tight, and
Yeah, it's going to get tighter.
that would be
It's
a-
going to get tighter, but I do feel like, in looking at the situation, we're actually in really good shape compared to other
Okay.
assessment centers right now. and we're working on some things. And so when we hear more, I'll come back in and discuss those.
Have a conversation.
Yeah, when it gets close enough to do that, so.
All right, Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the agreement with, for the apricot system.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now you're up, Matt.
Matt Olson, Bannock County Juvenile Justice. Here today requesting permission to dispose of 2 items. One is a stove at the Youth Development Center. It's a little bit older stove. They were having some challenges with temperature control and things like that on that stove. And then we had a microwave over there. We have used Title I funds that we got from the school district to replace that stove and the microwave. So now we're seeking permission to be able to donate those to a nonprofit organization. There was an email sent out to the county to see if anybody was interested in either one, and we did not have anybody interested.
And so that's value.
The value of those items, the microwave maybe at best $50, and the stove maybe a couple $100.
So it's under the limit, so
Okay.
that's my only question. Just to donate, we need to make sure they're under $250 or something, so that we can.
I would say based on the age and the challenges we're having with it, it would be worth less than $250.
Okay, any questions?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we authorize disposal of assets as discussed.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Buddy, Kyle.
Good morning, Commission. Buddy Romrell, Public Works Assistant Director.
Kyle Burmester, Public Works.
We were approached by a student from ISU who was in the diesel program to do his 240-hour internship through our shop. With that, the county would be, after talking with the instructor and Christy, we come up with $15 per hour to pay this employee for this internship. And the dates would be from June 10th to August 1st, roughly. The cost of the county would be $4,320 to have him for those 240 hours. And this could be funded through our extra help line that we have in our state budget. We did the work with Christy and okayed the funds, I guess, through her. So.
Okay. So internships, a lot of times the university pays, and that didn't work out.
And the university has no funding to pay the employees, so the county would be on the hook for that.
When you talk to the university, did you talk to them about the CPI program or just an intern program? What program did you ask them about?
Just the intern program, as far as I'm aware.
And this is pretty much just in the diesel end of things, is they have no funding for, in the diesel mechanics.
I think the CPI program is mainly lower campus stuff.
Yeah,
not
so
there,
it's a
okay.
little different, and we started out with it not knowing for sure, but we kind of looked at it and thought, some extra help, and then we have had 4 mechanics previously that we hired from doing stuff like this, so it's a good chance for us to get to know the person and then maybe create a future employee for Bannock County.
So he'd be full-time through the summer?
Yeah, just for 240 hours.
But he's not entitled to benefits and
No.
insurance and
No.
all that's been explained.
Yep.
And you have, what level of work would he be able to do for you?
We'd probably just start them out in our pit area. That's typically where we start our guys as, first coming out of school. So just kind of doing preventative maintenance, repairs, greasing, maybe some tire
We're
work.
supposed to kind of help tutor him as part of our thing with close, training, supervision, for all different stuff. So
How far along in the program is he?
I think he's pretty much ready to graduate.
So
So he's
he's
just got to
tail
get
end
the
of it.
240 hours in and stuff, and he's good to graduate.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions? Nope. Concerns?
No, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the internship for the shop as discussed.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
You want me to sign this?
I was gonna see if you could sign this one too.
You want this back?
Yes, please. Thank you.
That is the same one that's in the packet, so.
Okay. Okay, and then lastly, we're looking at doing our annual tank rental that we have for our semi-trailers. We use it for our chip sealing program, just to increase the efficiency to keep the crews running and keep the oil coming for the process. We intend to rent the trailers for 3 weeks. The monthly cost is $4,500 for the trailers, which we have budgeted. And then we will be required, as per all our rentals, to cover insurance on it during that time period, which I would coordinate that with Christie
Okay.
while we do that.
Okay. Questions about this one?
No, this is just a regularly budgeted item.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom?
Nope. Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the rental as discussed.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for this. That was some good information, talking to those two. So, appreciate it. I kind of run out on you.
No, them can go kind of long. What's the time?
All right, next item on our agenda is to approve the quarterly jail inspection.
Mr. Chair, just as a point of clarification, rather than totally inspecting the jail, we accepted the Idaho Sheriff's Association inspection, which occurred previously in the week, and the jail got a exemplary rating. Is that correct?
A+.
A+ rating. So, Mr. Chair, I would move that we accept the Idaho Sheriff's Association inspection of the jail as in the packet.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, next we have resolution number 2024-31, authorizing the insurance of tax deed to Bannock County on property for unpaid taxes. Questions?
No. Mr. Chair, I would move that we would accept, approve resolution RS number 2024-31 for the delinquent property taxes as presented, and note that those parcels involved still have until June to take care of things. Or it's October, isn't it? Or is it?
October is when the auction would be in
Whenever
October.
we set the auction, or up to 14 months.
Okay, so they still have time to repair the deed.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nikki, one more and you're gone. Okay, you're gone. Go ahead and escort her out, please. Next, we have letters and notices, signature only, and this is a bid award letter. We wish to, let's see. Bids were under divided. This is the 6th Avenue and the discussion that we had last week.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd move that we sign the bid for CM Company for the 6th as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, under the consent agenda, we have salary rate approval forms. And We also have Board of Bannock County Commissioners minutes for May 9th.
I had a question about the minutes.
Okay.
It looks like he had Scott Crowther making all kinds of motions in one of them. things. He started with me making motions, but then Scott said something, and then from then on, he was making all the motions.
Okay.
Just that.
So,
You saw that?
I tried to catch that, but it just, those two names are so similar. Crowder and Crowder.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda and the minutes with the amendment that Mr. Crowder made the motions versus Mr. Crowder.
all right, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Nancy. And with that being said, we will be at recess until 10 a.m. when we have a Public Works meeting. And then we'll have a meeting at 1:30 with Planning and Development Council.